And this is the Land Rover after a week of work on it. It's pretty much stripped at the rear end, apart from the rear axle and fuel tanks. The sills are still on, and they're proving to be very strong, as they have, as it's not fell off. Plan is for today is to start the engine and not be running it for too long because I've got parts missing and whatever. It does turn. The plugs are out, by the way. It does turn. Well, it did turn pretty freely by hand. And so it does feel. Right, so it's a bit free now. Does seem to turn. So that's the good sign, I suppose. I'm going to fill it up with fresh oil now. It's most of the old oil is on the floor. So we're going to start it up, see if it charges, and then strip it. Well, I've took the manifold off to clean it, stop any rubbish from going through. I've fitted a starter motor back on and wired it up. It's had a replacement starter solenoid there. It's had a coil that's not yet wired up, and the footwell isn't getting any better. And the wing's off, if you've not already noticed. I don't know what to do because I've connected the battery back up. Let me come through, I can't lean over. I connected the battery back up. I've got two lights, fuel gauge, which obviously isn't working correctly. And I come down here to press the button. And nothing's happening. So I'm not sure. I bought this Land Rover over 3 years ago now, and I've done probably 1,500 miles in it since putting it on the road in March of 2018. I'm not saying it's finished as in completely finished, but it runs and I use it quite a bit. So this video I've put together to see if this as a vehicle lived up to my expectations. So my expectations were, or what I wanted from a vehicle, from a Land Rover at least, was something that was completely unmodified and as it left the factory. So being a ex-military Land Rover, it was never standard to start off with. It's got slightly raised suspension and slightly larger wheels. The engine here is the 2.25 litre petrol engine that was in it from new, and it's still got the non-synchro on first and second 4-speed gearbox, but it has got theory overdrive. So what I'm going to do is take it out for a spin, and we'll see what it's like to drive. So just the first thing I'd like to mention is that to drive this thing is very difficult indeed. This is a standard Land Rover seat, like it would have had when it was new, because that is the original seat. But on this side, because it was a bit uncomfortable, I've put a seat that's not original in, and it's coil sprung. And when you're going over bumps, all you're doing is bouncing up and down, so it makes the ride very harsh, at least. So what I've also done is I've fitted this office chair support thing, and what that does is it gives you a bit extra support, but it's not actually very good. You're still not supported completely within the seat. And going up and down this road makes it very difficult indeed. The other thing is that you, in a vehicle of this age, the horn push, the horn button, I think should be here, but I never got that with the original vehicle, so I fitted this other one that I had, this other centre cap that I had lying around. So the horn push is down here, and if you want to pip someone as you're going along, it's very difficult to find that button. It's got push, it's got manual pump screen wash, and the wipers are very slow and don't really clean the windscreen as effectively as they could do. That switch there, that operates the two side lights that's on the front, so you can flash people as you're going along. The heater is alright. It's not a major problem, that it's not something I'm particularly bothered about, but the engine is slightly underpowered. Could do with a bit more power when you're going up hills, but it does fairly well. It was completely rebuilt, so it's probably producing best part of 70 to 80 brake horsepower. Brakes, not too bad. I like the brakes. Overdrive makes it a bit more drivable as well. This ain't got a lot of battery left, so I don't know how long it's going to last, so we'll give it a try. So the seat belts in this are very difficult to put on and aren't very comfortable to wear as well. Clutch is very heavy on this. Makes it very undrivable as well. It's better to wear gloves when you're driving as well, because the diameter of the steering wheel is very small, so you can't grip onto it very easily as well. Got a beard in the way.